Hey, this is Ketogenic Jim. Probably by my clothing you might think it's pretty warm, but it is not. It is quite a cold day, so what I thought I would do is a kind of a spicy chicken soup. And what I call this is jalapeno popper soup because we use jalapenos. Instead of normally what I would do is probably 3, maybe 4 fresh jalapenos, I've just got some jarred jalapenos, which are perfectly fine. I'm gonna use about half the jar. But first thing, since it's a chicken soup and it's going to be a nice meaty OMAD, 1 meal a day type thing I do for myself, I'm going to make up some chicken. All right, now we have some chicken thighs. I'm gonna be cooking this for a few people. So I have some bone-in chicken thighs. The bone-in is the very special part. You wanna use the bones for the stock, but that's pretty much it. We're going to debone the chicken thighs. And then going to cook the chicken thighs in the oven for about an hour. All right, I've set the bones aside. My left hand has raw chicken, so what I'm going to do is just going to lay these down the non-skin side up, kind of open and ready for seasoning. And then we're going to season these with some salt and pepper. Okay, we put some salt onto those, just kind of go over them with a little bit of pepper. And now we're going to flip all these and salt and pepper on the other side. Now we're putting these in the oven for about 50 minutes to an hour at 350 degrees, about 200 degrees Celsius, 180 degrees Celsius. And that's going to completely cook all the chicken through, get the skin kind of crispy, and then we're going to actually put it into our soup. All right, that's perfect. Our chicken's in the oven. Now we're actually going to make the base while those are cooking. Okay, now we're going to start to make our base of the soup, our broth. We have about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of butter, and now we're going to just fry up these chicken bones and try to bring out as much of the stock out of those as possible. Okay, while our chicken bones are frying up, we're going to cut very finely half an onion, 2 cloves of garlic. Actually, there's 1 clove, 2 cloves here. 2 cloves of garlic and our coriander. That is going to be essentially the main spices. We also have some Cajun seasoning and obviously our jalapeno. And then we're also going to use 2 cubes of chicken stock, and that's going to equal roughly around 3 to 4 cups of chicken broth. And that is going to be essentially our base. Okay, our chicken is kind of frying away. So we're going to put our jalapenos into the chicken. Try to kind of use as few of the vinegar as possible, just the jalapenos, but if I had my way, I'd put the whole jar in. But like I said, roughly around 3 to 4 jalapenos. That's what gives you your spice. We're also going to add our coriander, our garlic, and our onion. And just let all this kind of slowly fry through. Get all that toasted up, and then we're going to add our chicken broth. A little bit of the Cajun season now, and then a little bit after. And if the skin is crispy enough, which a couple of them are, then I will take them out and probably keep them for some nice little chips or something of that sort. If not, then I'll try to shred it into the soup. But what we're going to do with the fat that has remained is we're going to pour that into our broth that is still kind of simmering away, and then we're going to shred this up. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to try to thicken up our broth a little bit. You can always use xanthan gum or some other type of chemically thing. But what we're going to do is first try to move all the chicken bones to one side, and you can obviously use an immersion blender. If you have an immersion blender, you just take out the chicken bones, you just run it through, but I don't have access to one right now. So I'm just going to get my slotted spoon and just scoop out as much of the onion, the jalapeno peppers, and the garlic, and all of that flavorful stuff. Kind of just move it all around, get as much of it out as possible. And then what we're going to do is put these through the blender and take out our chicken bones. And our chicken bones are done for this recipe. I don't know if I'm going to be using the chicken bones for anything else or not, but you just keep doing this and you just get as much of it as you can out, because that's going to kind of liquefy everything and make the broth really, really nice tasting. Okay, I've blended up the jalapeno spices and everything. So what I'm going to do now is I got my colander here. I'm going to just take the chicken bones out and try to make sure it's over top the pan here. And just get the chicken bones out and then put the paste in. Then we can add everything else. I like to try to let them kind of just drain off as much as possible, but we have our spicy paste here. That goes in. Should be able to move these away now. Little touch of water just to drain that off. And that is our base. Now we're going to put our chicken in and a little bit more water to complete our soup. All right, now we're just adding in our chicken and just gonna let that soak up all of the spicy flavors. It's gonna taste fantastic. I haven't tried the broth yet, but the broth is always the best part. Okay, that is kind of simmered away for a couple minutes. I've got about a half a pint of water just to thin it out. But we're also going to add in about 100 grams of cream cheese and a little bit of cheddar cheese, about 100 grams of that too. And that's going to really make our jalapeno popper chicken noodle, well, no noodles, but chicken soup, really tasty. Yeah, about 100 to 120 grams of cream cheese, and then another 100 grams of cheddar cheese. Jalapeno and cheddar is one of my favorite mixes. I think it's quite a few people's favorite mixes, but that's pretty much it. We're just gonna stir that through, and that is our soup. Once all the cheese melts, serve. And now all the cream cheese and cheddar is melted through. That is lovely. I've re-toasted up the chicken skins, and they are nice and crispy. So once everyone is here and ready to eat, then I'll kind of dish it out and show it to you guys. Well, here it is. You really can't see it too well because it's a soup, but I got my biscuits there too. But that is the chicken skin. It is nice and crispy, and the soup smells phenomenal. It's nice and spicy. It's cheesy. It's exactly what you would think of a jalapeno popper in a soup. It is fantastic. I just tried a little bit just a second ago before I started recording, but that's pretty much it. If you like my videos and you like my recipes, please give a like and subscribe. If you want to get ketogenic coaching, you know, it may seem really expensive at the start, but it is not. Once you get into it, and I can show you how to do offcuts, organ meats, you know, liver is some of the best food, and you're not hungry when you're on it. You eat one meal a day. It is not at all like what people think of eating the most expensive, organic, this, that, and the other. It's not at all like that. If you want to get coached on me, for me to show you exactly how to get in the best possible shape you can be in, and the best possible shape your body can be in. It's completely different. It's not always exterior looks that is the difference. Please get in touch with me, ketogenicjim@gmail.com, ketogenicjim@gmail.com, or you can go on to any of my social media. Just look up Ketogenic Jim, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all there. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Hopefully you try this out and enjoy it. You guys have a great day. Thanks a lot.